Capital One's tech team isn't just talking about multi-agentic AI. They already deployed one, Chat Concierge for car shopping. Their tech team built in self-reflection with live API checks to help buyers find a car they love. That's how they stack. That's technology at Capital One. Brought to you by Williams. We make clean energy happen.
I'm Yasmin Gagne.
I'm Josh Christensen.
And this is Most Innovative Companies Video Edition, but with no guest.
Yeah. We're on the floor of the Fast Company Innovation Festival. We're doing a full video thing. There's a camera there. There's a camera here. Hey, Zach.
And we're kind of winging it, so please forgive us.
Yeah, it's going to be fine. I think I just screwed up the autofocus on this camera. So if Yas is just in
blurry.
soft focus,
yeah,
it's fine. This episode, like we said, is a little different. We're going to talk about what's happening at Festival. And then a little later in the episode, you're going to hear senior editor Max Ufberg. So you know Max.
You know Max.
Fine. Everybody knows Max.
From the village idiot of the pod.
He interviewed the CEO of Glean, Arvind Jain, about the rise of agentic AI.
And Glean was an MIC company this year in the top 50. But first, here's the download, the news you need to know this week in the world of business and innovation.
For the fourth time, President Trump has delayed a U.S. ban on TikTok. Y'all, this podcast newscast is just Groundhog's Day.
I love the fact that, no creators have been worried this time. You know what I mean? Like, the first time the ban was coming around, it was like
Bihar was having a conniption in April.
Whereas now they're just, it's like business as usual.
The people are on your side.
Yeah.
Look that up in case you don't know. So in an executive order signed on Tuesday, Trump pushed the enforcement of the potential ban for TikTok until mid-December. None of this is technically legal, but everyone's just like, oh, it's fine. But the ban may never come. A framework for a deal for TikTok to be divested from was reached just one day earlier. That's according to Secretary of the Treasury, Scott Bessent. The deal, which is expected to close in 30 to 45 days, is reported to include new investors along with existing investors in the parent company of TikTok, which is called ByteDance, which is always, it's just a really whimsical name.
Yeah, ByteDance is a hilarious name.
It's a great name. Super microcomputer.
Yeah.
I can't not bring up that company. Oracle will also retain its deal with the platform to continue to provide its cloud service.
Quick, what does Oracle do?
It provides cloud service.
I asked my husband, and he really confidently was like, it's a SaaS product. And I was like,
yeah.
You have no idea what Oracle is.
Software as a service. It's software that provides a service? Yeah. That means nothing.
I know.
What don't they do?
I was like, the confidence with which you gave me an extremely vague answer is crazy.
Oh my God. Well, we're going to talk more about Oracle. Well, Oracle's owner, Mr. Larry Ellison.
And owner's son.
Because
just weeks after closing a deal that merged Paramount and Skydance, Paramount Skydance is preparing a bid to acquire Warner Brothers Discovery. The majority cash bid will be for the whole of Warner, which had been planning a split since last year into two entities, one focused on streaming and studios and the other on a cable television business.
Do you think they're just going to mush together all the names? So it's just going to be Paramount, Skydance, Warner Brothers Discovery?
Yes.
God damn it.
Or it'll be Paramount Max.
Paramount Max. Honestly, please do Paramount Max so I don't have to say Paramount, Skydance, Warner Brothers Discovery. Because we're going to have to say it 17 times on this newscast. Maybe it'll just be
Skydance.
It should probably just be Skydance or just Paramount.
Skydance is also a hilarious name when you think about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway.
What was the name they were going to just call it? Spinco. Like NBC was going to name that new company.
But it's now called
Versant. Yeah. Versant.
Crazy name. It sounds like a fancy watch brand.
The Queen of Versant coming to Broadway with Kristen Chenoweth.
Oh my God.
Back into this newscast. Back into this story.
Last week, Larry Ellison, who is David Ellison's father and the co-founder of Oracle, also briefly eclipsed Elon Musk as the world's richest person when shares for the tech giant surged upwards of 43%. Ellison's fortune was briefly valued at $393 billion, surpassing Musk's $384 billion. The rise in stock was fueled by the announcement of multi-billion-dollar contracts with OpenAI and NVIDIA, along with more than $450 billion backlog for cloud services. Let me tell you, still don't understand what this company does sometimes.
Worth a lot of money, though. What's GPU stand for?
Graphics processing unit.
Boom, you got it.
But also, I think that status as richest man is like somewhat tenuous. From what I understand,
I think it's
like,
already back to Elon Musk.
Yeah.
I think it's
already
definitely
back to Elon Musk, but also it may even sink lower.
Yeah.
It's going to have a real impact on his lifestyle.
Well,
that's money.
This is all just
$6 billion.
This is fake. This isn't real. We live in a simulation. PsyOps. Anyways, let's go to another extremely rich company and man. The Chinese State Administration for Market Regulation ruled Monday that chip giant NVIDIA had violated Chinese antitrust regulations. The semiconductor giant has stated that it will cooperate with the law, but China has not announced consequences, and the investigation is ongoing. However, the ruling may color the ongoing tariff negotiations between China and the U.S.
I can't wait for the day we don't mention tariffs in a newscast.
It's never going to happen.
My God.
We've got at least 3.5 more years.
This past weekend, the California AI safety bill known as SB 53 was approved by the state Senate. California Governor Gavin Newsom, who has made no public comment on SB 53, can now either sign or veto the bill. Last year, Newsom vetoed a more sweeping AI safety bill, so
Well, who knows?
Tech and VC firms, including Andreessen Horowitz, have criticized SB 53, while cloud developer Anthropic has come out in its favor. Shockers all around.
We had talked about this last week, but yeah, Andreessen Horowitz coming out against tech regulation. Wow. Oh my God. Anyways, next. Another one of our favorite topics, and we'll probably get some new news. We're recording this Wednesday afternoon. The Fed is currently deciding whether or not to lower interest rates.
We're not going to update this news.
We're not going to update it.
We're
Just
so
check.
tired.
They're probably going to cut it by a quarter point. On Monday, the Senate confirmed Stephen Miran, White House economic advisor, for a key position at the Federal Reserve. Miran will retain his White House position, the first time in 90 years that a Fed board member has simultaneously held roles in both entities.
This is so crazy to me.
Yeah.
Like, actually, this is so upsetting.
Yeah,
Also,
what could possibly go wrong?
Random aside related to economic policy, I was meeting someone in
My
Soho.
favorite kind of random aside.
I was meeting somebody in Soho, and I saw Stephen Mnuchin looking at the window display at Glossier for a weirdly long time at the Glossier flagship store in Soho.
Are you sure it was Stephen Mnuchin
yes.
and not Ethan Slater?
I stared at him I was like, why do I recognize that guy? And then I was like, holy shit.
That's so funny.
He was watching these like pink bags like go round or something.
Amazing. That's amazing.
Asset management firm Apollo Global Management may be putting AOL up for sale. What is AOL? If you do not remember 9/11, you may not remember what AOL is. It was purchased by Apollo in 2021 and generates around $400 million in earnings a year.
What?
I know. Wild.
Amazing.
So a sale would be valued about $1.5 billion. And while AOL will be ending its dial-up internet service later this month, which was a diabolical way to surf the net back in the day.
Yeah, it was great. The noises, the inability to... You have to get a second phone line.
Yeah, you'd be like, Mom, are you using the phone again?
Yeah.
Its business lines include email, which old people still use, the AOL.com website, as well as software.
Old people still use.
Yeah, which old people still use, as well as software for internet privacy. That's probably, I have to believe that's where they make their money.
Yeah, it's got to be.
Yeah.
It's got to be. Cybersecurity is definitely a thing. We all watch Silicon Valley. And finally, this past Sunday's Emmy Awards saw big wins for streaming giants, including The Pitt from HBO Max, Adolescence from Netflix, and The Studio from Apple TV. Those took home the 3 big awards of the night. Apple TV Plus also saw winners for its shows Shrinking and Severance.
Can I be honest? I didn't think The Studio was funny.
Yeah, you told me about that, but Hollywood loves a show
Talking about
about
themselves.
Hollywood.
Whereas
I like Hacks.
I like
Hacks is
Hacks.
good,
I like
but
Hacks. Yeah.
It's dominating again every
Yeah,
category.
I
The
know.
studio's now taking over for Hacks. It's
But like
just,
13 wins.
yeah.
Whereas Adolescence was like,
Adolescence was
I was like,
incredible.
all of these people deserve awards.
Incredible. Big night for Oneers, though. Big night for
Big
Oneers.
night for Oneers.
The studio and Adolescence.
I also loved The Pit for what it's worth.
I haven't watched The Pit yet.
Really liked it.
I'm definitely going to watch that. Adolescence was great. The studio, I watched a couple episodes and was like, I'll finish this.
I
but
was
it's
like, this
not- I
isn't
was like,
bad. It's just not
Yeah.
like,
I just wanted to watch the Oneer episode, which is the one
Mhm.
everyone was talking about. I was like,
yeah,
okay.
that's cool.
Cool.
Technically.
Yeah, but it's also something like the Oneers as they were employed by Adolescence, I thought was like fresh and interesting.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
And it wasn't about the Oneer.
And it wasn't
really
like,
about,
look what we did.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. And like I understand it was like a meta take with the
Yeah,
studio, which
yeah.
was interesting, but like why are we giving that a directing award now? Because it's just not, I don't know, it just doesn't make sense to me. Like The Bear did it.
Mhm.
Cool. Birdman did it. Oh, that was cool and novel. It's just not
Birdman,
novel to me
again,
anymore.
just like a movie about Hollywood that I was just like, whatever.
Yeah, I'm just not. I mean, listen, shocker to all of you. There are narcissists in the entertainment business and narcissists
They're
in this
like,
podcast.
they're
booth
like,
right now.
this is relevant for everyone.
This is so prescient to our society. Meanwhile, Adolescence truly could not have been more like
Yeah,
relevant to
yeah.
society. And Stephen Graham just seems like the coolest guy.
Yeah, dude, he's the best. And that's the news you need to know today. So, Josh, what has been the highlight of your festival so far?
Well, I've been in this booth a lot.
Yeah,
which
but
is
you
cool.
interviewed.
I did interview Drew Muller from House of Highlights. Which
Exactly.
Was
That's
super
why I was
cool.
queuing you up by saying what has been the highlight of your festival so far.
I know what you were queuing me up for, Yaz. I just wanted to zag when you wanted me to zig. No, I interviewed Drew Muller, who's the vice president and general manager of House of Highlights, which is a creator-led sports brand now. They're owned by Bleacher Report. They're part of Warner Brothers and TNT. And
Very good follow on Instagram for what it's
great
worth.
follow on Instagram, but they're also on TikTok. They're on YouTube. We talked about like platform distribution, which I'm fascinated by. I mean, I am the executive producer of these Fast Company podcasts, so it's something I think about a lot. So it's going to be a lot of inside baseball. No pun intended.
You love making shows about yourself.
I love making. I just was just like, hey, so how can I be better at YouTube?
Yeah.
Forget the audience.
So do you like my videos?
Do you like that? I mean, how do I get more engagement? Can you introduce me to Kai Cenat? Lean that way. You leaned in front of the camera.
Oh, sorry.
Keep that in. What about you? What's been your highlight so far?
Honestly,
I've barely seen you.
well, I've been reporting a feature for a lot of it.
Yeah.
I interviewed the CEO of the AARP on stage,
That's cool.
which honestly sounds really stale, but I thought she was so interesting.
Yeah.
And it also made me terrified of getting old because Social Security may go away and saving money is difficult.
Yeah. I mean, you're having a baby, so you are particularly you're having a baby, and your husband
Is putting us into an
is
enormous
putting you
amount
into
of debt.
massive
Yeah.
debt by going to Harvard Business School.
Yeah.
He'll make up for it with that McKinsey money after he graduates.
But it was legitimately super interesting. It was also weird to think like older millennials are turning 50,
Yeah.
and I was like, that's our generation.
Yeah. That's why when everyone talks about it, people are just going to use millennials for 20-somethings for about another 10 years, I
Yeah.
think.
Well, Gen Z's
Maybe that is catching on, but I still hear people talk about millennials like they're children.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
I
bro,
do behave like a child.
yeah, it's like, bro, we all have knee problems.
Yeah.
now. I do behave like a child. I have all my participation trophies up on my shelf that you gave me, boomers. Ridiculous.
I'm going to give you a participation trophy for being on the podcast.
They should give us, when the Ambie Awards come out, or no, the Golden Globes are including podcasts now. We should give ourselves participation trophies.
Silver
Golden
Globes.
Silver Globes, Golden Globe viewing podcast hosts. That'd be great. We'll do a whole episode about it because we love doing content about ourselves.
Exactly.
What else are you moderating this week?
I am moderating a conversation with the CEO of Hinge. Justin McLeod. I don't think I'm scooping myself. I'm writing a feature about the company.
Yeah.
So I'm all hinged up.
Yeah.
So I'm interviewing him on stage, and then I'm doing one more, and it's basically about how it's increasingly difficult for many women to raise money in VC.
Yeah.
And how they can find alternative sources of capital, whether that's, private equity, family offices, whatever.
Yeah.
So that should be really fun.
Didn't we talked a little bit about that a year or so ago. You went to the female founders
retreat.
We
went to.
I was
yeah.
It was me and the
Josh was the only
AV
boy.
guys.
Josh was the only boy in the.
I'm the eldest boy.
Yeah.
The only one.
The only boy.
It was fun. It was in the Hamptons. It was at the Wolfert Winery
the
Estates.
best time in the
So cool. We got
Hamptons.
great Greek food.
Yeah.
The Hamptons.
Actually,
slaps.
really nice,
It's really nice.
unfortunately.
Hey, go to the Hamptons and read the Wall Street Journal.
I was like, this place is going to be so overrated. And then I was
properly rated.
texting my husband, we need to
Expensive
get
as
rich.
fuck. And that's when he applied to
Harvard Business School and put us more into debt.
But got into Harvard Business School, got you pregnant.
Yep. I was like, you didn't listen to me at all.
He's like, no, it's fine. It's fine. It's a long game. It's a long game. I've done a Gantt chart on this.
Anyway, we're going to take a quick break. If you're a podcast listener, if you're watching on YouTube, we're going to roll right to the next segment.
As affordable, reliable energy demand increases at historic rates, one company is uniquely positioned to accelerate America forward. Williams. We have 117 years of know-how in powering progress, and we're ready to power the next 100 years of innovation. Learn how our natural gas infrastructure is critical to the future of AI at williams.com.
At this point, you're probably all used to chatbot-style AIs. You write a prompt, it gives you an answer. But agentic AI is designed to proactively and autonomously plan and execute actions. This is something I've been thinking about trying to implement in my job, but I am too stupid to understand how. You know what I mean?
ChatGPT, write article.
No, but I'm like, what if I could use Copilot to schedule stuff?
Yeah.
But I'm bad. I couldn't really figure it out.
I don't have the time to figure some of that stuff out. I do use AI fairly regularly now in terms of
I never do.
just regular. You never do? It's really good for just summarizing things. I find it really good.
Yeah.
I had a bunch
I
of
forgot
clips.
you can't really read.
No, I can't read. I have to use voice mode.
Yeah.
I always forget you can't read. You're my Jonathan Groff. You'll always sound things out for me.
Yeah. Anyway, this newscast took forever. This was we're hour 6 of recording this podcast. So I have to feed Josh sentence by sentence.
I learned by rote. It's fine. So agentic AI
could have a massive impact on the workforce, which is why earlier this year, NVIDIA CEO Jensen Huang said that AI agents are, quote, likely to be a multi-trillion-dollar opportunity. Likely thing for him to say. Senior editor Max Ufberg talked with Arvind Jain, founder and CEO of Glean, about the future of agentic AI.
Arvind, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Before we jump into the details, you founded another startup before Glean, and you sort of noticed a problem with knowledge and documents. Can you tell us a little bit more about that? And then what is Glean's origin story?
Yeah. So I used to work at Google as a search engineer. That's my primary training as an engineer. I was there for over a decade. And then I started a company with a few other people in early 2014. It's called Rubrik. It's an enterprise data protection and security company. We were actually quite lucky at that company. We grew fast. And in 4 years, we were more than 2,000 people. Business was growing. It was big. But as we grew, we sort of also hit a wall in productivity. We started to see that on a per person basis, we were writing less than half as much code. We were selling half as much of our product. People were struggling. And it was sort of an existential issue for the company. And as part of as a founder, of the company. Like, I was curious, like, what's wrong? Like, why are we struggling so much now? Like, as a startup, you thrive on, high productivity. And we did surveys to learn. And the key thing that came out of that survey, these pulse surveys that we do company-wide, was that people were really struggling. They were saying that, hey, look, I cannot find anything in this company. I don't know where to go and look for the information I need to do my work. I also don't know who to actually go and ask for help when I need help. And that was revealing, like, was the same experience I had. Like, we had 300 different systems, where our knowledge and information in the company was. I also couldn't find anything. I would resort to my EA to sort of, give me whatever I needed, but like most of the people didn't have that either. So as a search engineer, when people started to complain to us that we can't find things, I said, okay, well, let's just go and buy a search product. We can connect all of our enterprise systems with it, and then people will be able to actually find things that they need. That led us to this discovery that there was no enterprise search product out there, nothing that connected with all of your SaaS systems and give you one place where you can go and find things. And so that's what led to the creation of Glean. I got excited, like, I've built search products all my life, and I felt that, we would be able to build something that's going to help every single person in every single company in the world.
How did you go from that sort of kernel of an idea to agentic AI as a solution?
Well, we started the company in early 2019. The word agentic had not yet come into play. AI has been a big, of course, domain for computer science for a while. But in early 2019, even transformers, the core technology that powers all these language models, was actually a very niche concept. In search teams, initially this technology was built at Google with the goal of making Google search better. The reason why we were building these language models were so that we could understand the world's knowledge at a more higher conceptual level and actually understand people's questions, what they're trying to do also at that deeper level, and match content semantically to that as opposed to on a keyword basis. And we were seeing, big results with transformers in search. So when we're starting Glean, we knew that we will be able to use this amazing transformer technology to build a great search product, that we would be able to actually take questions in natural language, understand content at a conceptual level, and really like help people find the right things, with high quality and precision. So AI played a big role in our first version of the product. Mm-hmm. In fact, that actually made us the first enterprise Gen AI company in the world. I mean, little did we know that this was going to, take over the world in the next few years. And then over the years, the capabilities of AI models actually just kept increasing. The first one that I would say it developed after that, the first capability was understanding knowledge at a conceptual level. The second, I would say, is the ability for them to write, to actually make their own responses, make their own answers. And that was actually very super helpful to us because that allowed us to actually take our product, which used to look like Google inside your work life. We made it look more like ChatGPT inside your company. We could go one step further. And when somebody's asking a question, first we would actually use our core search technology. We'll bring the right information back that we think is relevant. But then we could actually use this new capability in the models to take that information, and instead of forcing the human to read that, we make AI read it and actually give you precise answers because, well, that's what you're looking for, in the first place. And then, you got this thinking capability. That's the third shift, I would say, or the third, new major capability development in AI models is this ability to really think and reason like humans. And that has actually unleashed this wave of us becoming more and more agentic. So now you can come in Glean, you can ask it to do some work for you. Glean is connected with all of your company's data and knowledge. It's connected to all of the world's knowledge, and it can use all of that, and it can actually understand the task that you're asking it to perform, and actually go in that agentic loop and start to sort of work and think like a human, and actually do that complex task for you. So it's been a very natural evolution for us. Like as the model capability has continued to get better, it has allowed us to sort of add more and more of these capabilities into our product platform.
And you've said before that fundraising wasn't a necessity for Glean. That's not to say you haven't fundraised, but why was it not a necessity?
Well, I think the AI companies, are having a good time in some ways. It's easy to raise capital, easy to do a lot of investment, build your products. For us, we So first thing, we're a little bit different in terms of an AI company history. We're actually the first one, as I said, the first Gen AI company in the enterprise. So before it became super hot. So we did have the need to raise capital, the first round of capital that we had, but we didn't know that we would be able to raise more unless if we actually generate success, unless if we actually build a profitable product. So we grew up as a company which is more traditional, where you have to sort of build a high margin, profitable business.
Right. Like a non-Silicon Valley business in a way.
Yeah. I mean, maybe not that far, but yes, but
Yeah, sure.
But sort of like that, right? So over the years, we built a good business. We're adding a lot of value to our enterprise customers, and we get paid for it. And so the burn hasn't been super high. So the later rounds, that we've done, they've not been motivated so much by that, look, hey, we need to invest in 10 different areas, and therefore we need to go out and raise capital. A lot of times it actually happens when somebody comes inbound and they're great investors, and we sort of think opportunistically at the time and then actually go and raise capital, because ultimately I think it's a good idea. It's a good idea for us to also, if everybody else is going to raise capital, we also have to do it. We cannot be seen as one that's behind. And we need to sort of have that flexibility to invest when we need to invest. But that's where we are. If I look at our balance sheet right now, we haven't been able to actually tap into the last few rounds of funding that we actually raised.
Yeah, let's talk about that funding. I mean, you closed a Series F earlier this year. The company is valued at $7.2 billion.
Yeah.
So how does that funding affect your timeline and your ambitions? Just that kind of money and valuation, does that change the calculus at all?
Well, I mean, I think as a company, we haven't, for example, we never had a goal that, hey, this is the year when we need to go IPO or become public. In my previous startup, we used to have those goals, and those goals were so irrelevant, in terms of what we actually did as a business. We had a 5-year plan, that we'll go take the company public in 5 years. Ultimately, we took the company public after 10 years. But they didn't really have an impact on the day-to-day. So when we started Glean, I've never really thought about that as the milestone. And instead, it's more how do you just keep adding more and more value to our customers? How do we build a business that grows at a good pace every year? The funding, what it actually does, the latest round, it actually, one of the biggest goals that it actually served for us is making it clear to the world's largest enterprises who we typically work with as customers, making it clear to them that we are here to stay. Because AI is increasingly getting more and more strategic. Every large enterprise knows that they have to transform themselves with AI, and they're looking for strong transformation partners, and they want to bet, and they want those partners to actually stick around. A big worry that companies have is that, well,
right, you don't want to integrate something into your system and have it drop off.
And
2 years later.
if you disappear, I'm host, right? And so there is that clarity that our customers need, and so these funding rounds sort of help really strengthen our balance sheet, and it actually also tells these large enterprises that look, we have the momentum behind us, and we are the right partners for them.
You focus exclusively on enterprise customers, as you mentioned. What's the pitch to prospective customers to sign with Glean versus Arrival?
Yeah. Well, so I think maybe we should first even let's understand what Glean is. So Glean
that would have been a good first question.
Yeah. So Glean is actually two different things. I would as an AI company, we think of our product in two different ways. One is we are this really general purpose conversational AI assistant. Think of it as ChatGPT, but inside your company. It's a superset of ChatGPT in a few different ways. One, we actually leverage all the best models out there in the world, whether it is GPT or Claude or Gemini or Grok or many others. All of those platforms, we actually partner with them behind the scenes. And so we bring those, these models to our enterprise customers. And number two, the way Glean works is that, you bring it in your company, you connect it with all of your enterprise systems. And the first thing that Glean does inside your company is understand how your business works. Who are the different people? What are the key projects? Who works on what? Who's an expert on different topics? What knowledge is good? What's actually stale? So we sort of build a deep understanding of your business, how work happens there. And now we have this general purpose tool, it looks like ChatGPT. It's called Glean Assistant. You go to Glean Assistant, you ask it to do some work for you. It's going to use all of that internal context and all of the world's knowledge. and the power of the best models in the world, like whether it's GPT and Claude and others, and it's going to actually complete those tasks for you. So it sort of becomes this like a really go-to tool for every individual. It's general purpose, like in the sense that it's not only helping the HR team or the legal team or the engineering team, it actually helps everyone. So that's one part of what we do. Second is to be able to build this product, as I was explaining, we have to actually go and build deep connectivity into our enterprise systems, connect with all those different systems, understand the security, the governance of all of your enterprise information, because you cannot just go and build models that train on all of your enterprise knowledge and make it accessible to every employee inside your company. Knowledge is governed, it's permissioned. So there's certain pieces of knowledge that only a few people can see inside the company. So it sort of have to respect all of those things. So we have to build this platform to power this product experience I was talking about. But then our customers, they actually like to use that platform directly as well to go and build many more agents and applications, AI applications, inside their company. We provide the right data connectivity, the retrieval technologies to sort of build those agents. So those are the two different things. So now when we go to customers, why should they work with us? Why not Microsoft? Why not OpenAI? Why not Google? And why not, in fact, every company in the world? They're all competing with us now. All the large software companies, they've realized that this core foundation, this platform that we built, which connects all of your company's context, brings it all in one place. This is super important to actually drive any AI innovation inside your company, build any agent. So a lot of competition. So our story to them is, number one, that we're the pioneers. We started working on this 6.5 years back, which is more than 4 years before anybody else started. So today, Glean has built the most advanced technology stack. Number two, we're also model agnostic. So our goal is to make sure that you as an enterprise customer, that you get to enjoy all of the best AI innovation that's happening out there. And we don't sort of pigeonhole you or put you onto just one, model family. Like, the fact that we're model agnostic, the fact that we can bring all the different models to you is important. And number three, like all the AI technology in the world, it's not like, it's not built for the enterprise. AI models know nothing about your business. So that core technology that we built, which brings all enterprise context together in one place, this is what you need. Like, you have to connect your enterprise context with AI models to actually do some useful work inside your enterprise. So we're the best at that. And then lastly, when you work with large enterprises, they have a lot of security, compliance requirements. You have to make sure that you meet the data residency requirements, like the system runs within their own cloud premises. So there's a lot of the enterprise readiness that you need, which is actually strength for us, given our focus on the enterprise from day one. This is where we really distinguish from most other AI companies.
We talked on stage in a panel just a few minutes ago as part of the Innovation Festival, and we talked a little bit about the role of humans in this AI-filled future. From your purview, what is the role of the human when it comes to Glean's tools? And what skills do workers need to gain here?
So sometimes, we tend to overthink, what AI means to the world. Is AI going to take over
the sort of doomer
world?
Scenarios?
Yeah. And actually, I don't know, there is some merit to, that kind of thinking. But largely, I would just think of AI as, yet another technology, one of the most powerful ones that we've seen in our lifetimes. But, still just, one other piece of technology, a toolbox, a tool in our toolbox, as humans. And the role of humans is basically to leverage it, to actually, get the best out of it and use that to sort of innovate more, to work faster, to do things we couldn't do before. So from that perspective, what we tell our enterprise customers is that, number one, when you think about AI, the role of humans, number one is to first learn, right? Make sure that you get familiar with AI and its power. And so our, Glean as a product, our Glean Assistant is a really good way to actually make that happen, because this is a tool that you give to every single employee inside your company. It feels to them like, ChatGPT or Google, so they don't have to learn it. And then we're also very proactive in the sense that Glean is designed to actually understand you and your work life. And a lot of times, people don't understand what AI can do for them. And so we're actually trying to teach them. We're trying to tell them, we detect that, you as an individual, you're about to do this piece of work, and we'll tell you that, hey, look, I can actually do it for you. And here's what I'm doing, here's my work. You can review it. You can see if you like it. And that's sort of how, so that's the first part of what's the role of human today, is to basically become the master of AI, to learn it, to understand its power, and to leverage it. And then once you've done it, the next part is to sort of fundamentally change your way of working, with AI. You're going to still be in control, but you have to sort of start to change your enterprise a little bit so that you can get the best out of AI. For example, you have to sort of digitize your enterprise. A lot of like human intelligence, AI learns from humans. So a lot of human intelligence today is not captured. Like, for example, well, I guess this conversation is going to be, recorded,
right.
but a lot of conversations are not, right? And so, but you have to change that. So you have to actually make your enterprise such that every piece of human judgment and intelligence is actually available to the future AI system so that it can do the best. So those are some of the other things that we do at Glean is like help you sort of both capture that intelligence, but then also leverage it very effectively for work that you do with AI in the future. But anyway, like those are some high level thoughts that I have. Ultimately, like I'll share one more thing, which is around where are we headed, with AI and how are we going to get the best out of it. I think AI is also going to become a lot more proactive in the future. Today, if you use ChatGPT, if you use Glean, mostly you have to go to Glean or to ChatGPT and you have to ask it to do some work for you. And that's where you lose most of the leverage because most people are not going to change their habits. They don't have time to think about, hey, can I do this work differently now, right? They know how to do it, in a particular way and they want to finish it with that way and move on. And that's where you're not playing the role that the human needs to play.
Mm-hmm.
So that has to change and AI has to actually come to you. So Glean, like our vision, is to build this truly personal companion for you at work.
Mm-hmm.
Glean should understand everything about your work life. It should know what your ambitions are in your career. It should know what your annual key goals and objectives are. It should know what your week looks like, the priorities for this week. It should know what your day looks like, who are the different people you're going to be meeting. It would know whether you're prepared for those meetings or not. It's also in the systems, where you're working. So it knows what you're writing, what you're reading. And with all of that knowledge, it then starts to become truly proactive and help you do your work. And before you even sort of seek it, because when you sort of change the direction of this flow, where AI comes to you versus you going to AI, that's when it becomes truly democratized and everybody benefits from it.
How do you balance that kind of heavy, sort of all-encompassing data input with concerns over security, data governance? I mean, I'm sure there are AI skeptics or AI critics. How do you alleviate those concerns?
Yeah. So first, you have to understand that information in the company, is fundamentally governed. You as an individual have access to some information inside the company and not other.
Mm-hmm.
And so any AI products or solutions that you build has to respect that. And so that's the key part of our architecture. Like we understand your information architecture, we understand your data governance, we know what roles do individuals play in the company, what information they can actually use. So when we actually do something for them, for an individual with AI, we'll restrict ourselves to use only the information that individual is supposed to be, is authorized to use. And so we focus a lot on delivering safe AI experiences. And this future that I'm talking about, where your personal AI companion is going to know so much about you. In fact, like you're having a water cooler conversation and it's listening to that. But with the goal of course, helping you in that world where, like in some sense, you can say that, hey, you're losing privacy to some degree, but you should not lose privacy. And if you're going to have that world where there's going to be a companion that is so close to you, then you should have a level of privilege between you and your companion.
Mm-hmm.
Which is fundamental, which is like attorney-client privilege, which is like a doctor-patient, privilege that nobody else gets to see, like, what you and your assistant or your companion, like how you're engaged. Yeah, what you talk about, right?
Right.
It's fully private. And you have to straddle that. You have to sort of figure out like how you get the best from the technology while still fully preserving, privacy. Yeah.
I want to zoom out here for a second. When you envision these agents interacting with each other across different platforms and companies, I think this is something we talked about on stage, but how do you see that taking shape? Is it an open ecosystem? Is it a sort of closed or maybe fractured one?
Like if you think about software, like software was very heterogeneous and completely boxed. Like, different pieces of software won't work with each other. That's the enterprise software world that we were in 2 decades back. Then SaaS came, and SaaS make things more interoperable. There are like now so many products, that work with, other SaaS products. But it was still hard to sort of make, SaaS products work with each other because they all had their own custom APIs, and you have to sort of good amount of work to actually make that happen, even though the systems are open. I think with AI agents, we're actually starting from a even better position, where from day one, everybody knows that agents have to be interoperable. From day one's customers are actually putting that requirement on their vendors. Any smart customer today, they should not invest in an AI platform that is going to lock them down, because you're running more and more of your business with these agents, with this technology. So your dependence on AI providers is very high. And so everything that you do with one vendor has to be very easy for you to sort of take that and take it to another vendor. And so there's a great demand for interoperability, and I think that's what we're seeing. So already we have quite a few integrations with other agent platforms. You can actually go and build an agent today in AWS Bedrock or Google Vertex or Langflow or Copilot Studio. It doesn't matter. You can always call into agents that you've built in Glean. You can always call into tools that we've built that can make those agent platforms better, and vice versa. So we're really seeing good interoperability.
I want to look forward here. What does the future look like for Glean?
Our ambition is to be one of the most important enterprise AI companies in the world. We want to be that primary interface through which AI adds value to every person who works in any company in the world. One of the things which I feel is limiting for AI today is that it's reactive in nature. AI doesn't come to you as much as it can. And Glean Assistant, like our core product, is really good in terms of helping you with the task that you have, but you have to go to it and you have to ask that task. And we realize that actually significantly limits our impact, within an enterprise, because a lot of people, they don't have the instinct to actually go to AI and ask those things. They're creatures of habit. They do things the way they've been doing it for many, many years. So one of the key directions that we've taken this year is, how do we make Glean more proactive? How do we sort of truly understand every individual at a deeply personal level from their work-life perspective, understanding them, their goals, and then actually becoming a companion to them, which is bi-directional in nature. Yes, I can go to, my Glean companion to get things done, but it also actually is constantly nudging me and helping me proactively on things that I want to do. And that's the thing that's going to truly democratize the impact of AI, across everyone, because now you're not waiting for humans to be the initiators.
It's not predicated on
somebody
human
being
initiative.
Exactly. So that's one significant direction that we're taking. And then the second thing is that I think very unique today at Glean in terms of building this truly comprehensive horizontal AI platform. We don't have any other product than our core AI product, which connects with all of enterprise context and data and information. And we've realized that this platform that we built is very useful to many other AI products out there. And so we're increasingly starting to build these integrations where specific verticalized SaaS products or AI tools are actually using Glean behind the scenes as a platform to get that enterprise context that they need to make AI work better in their own products. And so building this very effective horizontal AI layer in the enterprise that powers AI in hundreds of different products that you have inside the enterprise, that is another one that we are really excited about in terms of our future.
Tell us about the UX element here. What makes agentic intuitive for customers? Is the agentic UX equation a little bit different from your prior ventures?
One thing that has happened, like in not just in our product, but any other SaaS product over the last 15 years, like these products, they all get more and more complicated over time. You build features because your customers ask for them, and now you have your product that can do 1,000 things, but
they also become sort of bloated.
Yeah, they become bloated, and 99% of your users don't even know about them. like most of your features. And there's this constant struggle, from a design perspective, like you're putting all this investment building things and you can never really, make those things discoverable for your users. So when we built our AI product, this conversational sort of, assistant, one of the things, that we had to do, and we were not doing it, initially, but after we saw how people were also failing to discover like new capabilities that we're building, was that we said that like, look, your design now has to truly focus on, there are no menus, there's no like hidden sort of tabs to, to get to the features. You have to sort of understand the user and what they're trying to do in the moment. And you have to actually decide whether there's some capability that you have in your product that makes sense to them, in that particular moment. And you have to surface it, wherever their attention is. Their attention may be that they're listening to you. Their attention may be that they're looking at a particular area in your product UI. And that's where you have to actually sort of, expose that functionality just in time. And so that's been a key learning, especially because the new AI products, new agentic products, their capabilities are sort of unbounded. They can do so many different things, and there's no way to sort of organize it anymore in terms of like options in your menu card. So design fundamentally is going to be the key to get the most out of AI. And these are going to be very, very different designs in terms of like the products, the look and feel is not going to be anything like, what we had in the last 2 decades.
That's it for Most Innovative Companies. Our show is produced by Sam Gebauer, Hawa Atori, and Blake Odom. Editing by Matt Toder. Mix and sound design by Todd Wadhams and Nicholas Torres. And our executive producer is Josh Christensen. Remember again to subscribe, rate, and review, and we will see you next week.